Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to What a Ghoul Wants. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and this is my channel where I talk about pretty much everything that has to do with horror. So first thing is first, I wanted to talk about the shirt I'm wearing today. This shirt, oh my god you guys, I am so excited to own this shirt. I will do some close-ups of it so you can see the whole design, but this is the My Bloody Valentine tie-dye variant from Creeporama. This is my first time buying from this company, and oh my god, I am so impressed. Ooh. Almost lost the microphone there. This is my first time buying from Creeporama, and I am so impressed by this company. The design on the site when I pre-ordered it looked amazing, but in person, it just really pops. I absolutely love the front. It's just amazing with Harry Warden and the heart, and of course the logo for My Bloody Valentine with the hearts as the O's is just amazing. And I love that they have that just on one sleeve, as well as the other sleeve is just full of imagery from the movie. I especially love the little calendar date at the bottom with the heart around February 14th. And of course the little tagline up here at the top. There's more than one way to lose your heart. So absolutely so happy with this purchase. I will totally be buying from this company again. Unfortunately, for those who do like this shirt that I'm wearing, it was just a pre-order and I think that they are sold out right now. But they still have a ton of other cool designs on their website. So huge shout out to Creeporama. Absolutely love this shirt. It's one of my new favorites. One of my new favorite things is buying these long sleeve tees in a large so that I have a lot of room. It's super comfy. And it just means I get bigger prints and bigger images on the shirt itself. So I could not be happier with this purchase. So speaking of taglines, that is going to be the subject of today's video. I am going to be matching horror movie taglines to their movie. Now, I would say I am by no means an expert at taglines. There are some that I know just because they're either pretty famous or for some reason I've kind of latched onto them and they've just made a little space in my brain where I remember them. But for the most part, there are a lot of taglines that I have just no idea what movie they're from, or if I heard it, I would not know which movie to pair it with. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I found a couple of different horror movie tagline quizzes. I just really like to try these sort of interactive videos so you guys can play along while you're watching it and try to guess the taglines just like I am. So I'm going to link these quizzes in the description. I'm probably going to do at least two. It depends on how long they are. I'm not sure how long each of them are, but there are two from BuzzFeed. So the first one that I'm starting with from BuzzFeed is called Only People Who Eat Horror Movies for Breakfast Can Identify All 12 Horror Movies from Their Tagline. Sounds like a pretty tall order. I would say that I'm in the camp of eating horror for breakfast, but I could end up being really bad at this. We'll see. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump on in and start with the first one. And the first tagline that I have to identify the movie for is It's Not What You're Expecting. So this one comes with options for the movie so I can choose from multiple choice and see if I can guess the right movie. So the options are It's Alive, Rosemary's Baby, Child's Play, and Orphan. So these all kind of have to do with kids or babies or children. So I don't think it's Child's Play, and I'm pretty sure it's not Orphan or Rosemary's Baby. So I'm gonna go with It's Alive for this one. And I was totally wrong. It is Rosemary's Baby. So that does make sense. That just sounded a little bit more schlocky than I would think the tagline for Rosemary's Baby would be, but alright, now we know. Now this next one I know without reading any of the options, but this tagline is If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all. And the options they give are The Slumber Party Massacre, Silent Night, Deadly Night, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Sleepaway Camp. So I know this one for sure is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course, Nancy Thompson being our final girl in that movie. And that is correct. The next one is If Only They Knew She Had the Power. Carrie, The Craft, Ginger Snaps, or Christine. Definitely don't think it's The Craft, and I don't think that it's Christine. I don't think it's Ginger Snaps either, so I'm gonna go with Carrie for this one. And that one was right. Yeah, some of these are definitely gonna be easier than others, because the next one is another very famous one, and that is The Night He Came Home. Again, I already know this one before I even get into it, but the options are Psycho, The Shining, Halloween, or Friday the 13th. The he in this this one being, of course, the iconic Michael Myers, so I'm going with Halloween. And that one's right. Ooh, this one is one that I probably only know because the movie is one of my favorite horror movies ever. But it is Who Will Survive and What Will Be Left of Them. Options are Cabin Fever, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dawn of the Dead, or House of Wax. And I know the subject is right behind me, and it actually says on this blanket. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but the answer is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's right. Ooh, okay, the next one I'm not sure about right off the bat, but the tagline is You Won't Be Coming Home. And the options are Sleepaway Camp, Slumber Party Massacre, Midsommar, or Hostel. Now, I don't think it's Midsommar. I don't think it's Slumber Party Massacre. I'm kind of stuck between Sleepaway Camp and Hostel because they both involve people being away from home. I think I'm gonna go with Sleepaway Camp. Ooh, that was right, yay! I was really torn between those two. Next is, how do you kill something that can't possibly be alive? Options are Child's Play, Christine, Pet Sematary, Night of the Living Dead. Oof, now, again, this is one I don't know, and all of those things involve things that aren't necessarily alive, like obviously Chucky and Christine are inanimate objects that aren't really alive, but Pet Sematary and Night of the Living Dead have people that are basically zombies, so I don't think it's Pet Sematary, and I don't think it's Night of the Living Dead either, so I'm between Child's Play and Christine. I think I'm gonna go with Child's Play. Oh man, I was wrong. It was Christine. Dang it. Yeah, I feel like I should know the tagline for Child's Play, but I cannot think of it at the moment, so maybe it will be later on this list and it will click for me, but yeah, man, got that one wrong. Next is Terror, in the Flesh. Options are Cabin Fever, Raw, Slither, or Cujo. I don't think it's Cujo. I don't think it's Slither. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like Raw's tagline, and it seems a lot more like something that Eli Roth would approve of or come up with, so I'm gonna go with Cabin Fever. Yeah, I was right. That's a pretty good tagline, I will say. And that is a movie that I should probably rewatch. It's been a really long time since I saw it, and I remember being like lukewarm on it, so one that I do need to revisit for sure. Next is An Adult Nightmare. Candyman, It, Children of the Corn, or The Babadook. I don't think it's Candyman. I don't think it's Children of the Corn. I don't think it's It either because that involves like kids and adults. So I'm gonna go with The Babadook. Ooh, I was wrong. It was actually Children of the Corn. I guess that makes sense because the adults that are the ones in danger in that one. So, okay, that does make sense. Next is They Were Warned, They Were Doomed, and on blank, Nothing Will Save Them. Options are Prom Night, Black Christmas, Friday the 13th, or Halloween. Now, we know it's not Halloween. We already had that one, and we know that's not right. And I know it's not Black Christmas because I do actually know that tagline. So we're between Prom Night and Friday the 13th. I want to go with Prom Night on this one. Even though I don't know the Friday the 13th one right off the top of my head, which I feel like that one should be pretty obvious, that I feel like if I heard that one, it would click for me. So I'm gonna go with Prom Night. Oh no, I was totally wrong. Oh man, it was Friday the 13th. Man, guys, see, I told you I'm not really good at these. But I hope if you're following along, you're doing a lot better than I am. But I'm still having fun, and that's the important part. Okay, next one is Close Your Eyes for a Second, and Sleep Forever. Options are A Nightmare on Elm Street, The Slumber Party Massacre, Paranormal Activity, or The Blair Witch Project. Okay, we can eliminate A Nightmare on Elm Street. We already had that one. I don't think it's Paranormal Activity, and I really don't think it's The Blair Witch Project. Plus, it references closing your eyes to sleep, which obviously is what you do at a slumber party, so I'm gonna go Slumber Party Massacre. And that was right. I really have no idea what number we're on, but next is It Happened to Someone Who Knows Someone You Know, you're next. Options are Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Final Destination, or Urban Legend. Don't think it's Scream, don't think it's Final Destination. It definitely has the vibe of Urban Legend because that's the whole thing about urban legends is you always hear it from a friend whose cousin, whose brother, whose dad is the one it happened to. So I'm gonna go with Urban Legend. And that one was right. And that's actually the last one. Okay. Only 12 on this one. So for my total of the ones I got correct, I'm gonna go ahead and wait until the very end. And I'm gonna add up the total number from all of the quizzes that I did. So, there's 12 in the first one, not sure how many in the second one, but I'm gonna add those up, see the total, and then count and see how many I got right out of all of them. So I'm gonna hold off on my total of correct answers for now. And if there are any repeat questions or, repeat taglines in this one, I'm just gonna skip over them. And I won't count them in the total, of course, because I will have already answered them in the last quiz. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on over to the other quiz that BuzzFeed BuzzFeed has on horror movie taglines. And the title for this one is Only a Horror Movie God Can Correctly Match These Films with Their Taglines. I love how these titles are a little bit clickbaity, but of course it's BuzzFeed, so that tracks. So let's see if I'm a horror movie god. To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie. This is another one that I think is pretty infamous. But I'll read through the options. So the options are Hostel, The Last House on the Left, I Spit on Your Grave, or Saw 2. Interesting to include Saw 2 in that one. And I know that the answer is The Last House on the Left. And that's right. Ooh, okay, the next one is Whoever Wins, ... we lose. Options are Aliens, The Thing, Alien vs. Predator, or Freddy vs. Jason. I think it's one of the versus ones, and my gut is saying Freddy vs. Jason, but it really could be a 50-50. I'm gonna go with Freddy vs. Jason. Oh, damn it, I was wrong. It was Alien vs. Predator. That's a pretty good tagline. I like that one. Next is character's name. Has a very good head on his shoulders, ... and another one on his desk. This is another one that I just happen to know. But options are Reanimator, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, or Jigsaw. And I know that the answer is Reanimator. So it would read Herbert West, or I don't know if it actually says Dr. Herbert West, has a very good head on his shoulders. So, okay, the next one is one that I feel like I should know because it's so memorable and everybody says it, but I kind of have no idea what it is. So the next one is Be Afraid. Be very afraid. Options are Psycho, Scream, The Fly, or Jaws. Now again, I don't think it's Scream, but I don't think it's Psycho either, but I really don't know. Between The Fly and Jaws, it doesn't really seem like it fits either of those. Ugh, I don't know. I'm gonna go with The Fly. Ooh, yeah, I was right. That one was kind of a wild guess because it seems like it could kind of fit any movie, but that's one that I will definitely remember from now on. Okay, next is Trapped in Time, Surrounded by Evil, Low on Gas. Options are Wolf Creek, Jeepers Creepers, Joyride, or Army of Darkness. Don't think it's Army of Darkness. I don't think it's Jeepers Creepers. Although the Trapped in Time is kind of getting me. I don't know. I don't know what Joyride's about, so I don't know if there's like a time element with that one. I'm really not sure on this one. I'm just gonna go with Joyride. No, I was wrong. It's Army of Darkness, which I've never seen, but I don't know where the gas comes in with that one. Is he talking about gas for his chainsaw arm? Is that what that's about? Or does he have his car there? I have no idea. I just need to watch that movie. Okay, next is Just Because You're Invited Doesn't Mean You're Welcome. Ooh, this is another hard one. Ready or Not, Get Out, The Stepford Wives, or The Invitation. I don't think it's Ready or Not, and I don't think it's The Stepford Wives either. So I'm between Get Out and The Invitation, but it's not ringing a bell for Get Out. So I think I'm going to go with The Invitation on this one. And it was Get Out! Oh my god! Every time I'm down to a 50-50, I get it wrong. I mean, it does make sense for Get Out's tagline. I've just never heard it before. Okay, the next one is another one that's really familiar and I've definitely heard before, but it could kind of go with any movie. So it's The Only Thing More Terrifying Than the Last 12 Minutes of This Film Are the First 92. The options are Suspiria, Rosemary's Baby, Hellraiser, or Black Christmas. So we already know it's not Rosemary's Baby, and I know it's not Black Christmas, so it's between Suspiria and Hellraiser. And I think it's Suspiria. Again, this is another 50-50. We'll see if I get this one wrong again. Okay, we're going with Suspiria. And that one was right. I got it right this time. Okay, and the last one on this list is Everything You've Heard Is True. Hostel 2, Cloverfield, The Exorcist, or The Blair Witch Project. Don't think it's The Exorcist. I really don't know about this one either, guys. So the Blair Witch is based on, like, the legend of the Blair Witch, so maybe it's referring to the legend being true. So I'm gonna go with the Blair Witch Project. Yes, and I was right. Okay, so that's all for this one. Okay, so I got 5 out of 7 right on that one.
Oh, sweet past Anna. This is future Anna, and you're really pretty, but you can't count. I'm sorry. You actually got 5 out of 8 right, not 5 out of 7. So you did even worse than you thought. I hate to break it to you.
And on the first one, I got 8 out of 12 right. So if my math is correct,
it's not.
That is 13 out of 19.
13 out of 20.
So not great. So I think I'm going to do one more and see if I can kind of redeem myself. So this one is from a site called zoo.com. Never heard of it, but the title is just, Can You Match the Tagline to the Horror Movie? Not as sensational as the BuzzFeed titles, but just straight to the point with this one. Okay, so the first one is Sleep all day, party all night. Never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire. And I do know this one, actually. But the options are Fright Night, Bram Stoker's Dracula, The Lost Boys, or Let the Right One In. Alien. And I know that it is The Lost Boys. And that's right. Next is Theyre Here. This one's another pretty easy one. Options are Them, Poltergeist, Aliens, or Child's Play. Going with Poltergeist. That one's right. Okay, so this next one is the reverse. So it's giving me the movie and then I have to guess out of an option of taglines. So the movie is The Birds. And the options are You'll Never Go on an Airplane Again. It Could Be the Most Terrifying Picture I Have Ever Made. Iconic terror from the #1 director of the genre. Or The Suspense of Alien, the excitement of Jaws, the fun of Back to the Future. So that last one I obviously know isn't right because The Birds is from the 60s, or is it 60s or early 70s? I can't remember, but way before Back to the Future was made. And it's definitely not the one about the airplane. So I'm going to go with iconic terror from the #1 director of the genre. I'm assuming they're referring to Alfred Hitchcock there. Ooh, and that was wrong. It was actually, I guess this is Hitchcock saying, it could be the most terrifying picture I have ever made. So now I know. Next one is They Won't Stay Dead. Cat People, Night of the Living Dead, The Evil Dead, Dead Alive. Don't think it's Cat People. This is another one I'm really not sure because they all are kind of like zombie type movies. I mean, Evil Dead is Deadites, but same basic principle. I'm gonna go with Night of the Living Dead on this one. And that one was right. Next is You'll Never Feel Safe in Your Home Again. The Amityville Horror, Them, Let the Right One In, The Cabin in the Woods. This one seems pretty obvious. I'm going with the Amityville Horror because it's like a haunted house movie. Oh, that was actually wrong. The answer was Them. I've never seen Them, so yeah, that's definitely one that I still need to see. I thought it was the one about the giant ants. Am I wrong about that? Next is Someone Has Taken Their Love of Scary Movies Too Far. Solving this mystery is going to be murder. The Town, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Scream, or Friday the 13th. We know it's not Friday the 13th. It's not I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I don't know what The Town is, but it seems like it fits Scream a little too well. So I'm going to go with Scream. And that was right. Next is, if an old man warns you not to go there, make fun of him. Options are Shaun of the Dead, Scary Movie, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, or Cabin in the Woods. So these are all like horror comedies, and in Cabin in the Woods, there is an old man that tells him not to go in there, and they laugh at him. So to my knowledge, nothing like that happens in Scary Movie or Shaun of the Dead, and I don't think it's Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. So I'm going Cabin in the Woods. And that one was right. The Harbinger is who they're talking about. Love that movie. Okay, what is the tagline for the movie Alien? And this is another one that I just know right off the bat, but the options are In space, no one can hear you scream. Nothing like it has ever been on Earth before. Man is the warmest place to hide. Or once you've been chosen, you belong to them. So I know the answer is In space, no one can hear you scream. And that's right. Next is Take Her to the Prom. I Dare You. Options are Firestarter, Christine, Annabelle, or Carrie. So I wonder if this is the remake or Carrie might have just had multiple taglines, but I'm going to go with Carrie. And that was right. Next is The Picture You Must See from the Beginning, ... or Not at All. Options are Psycho, Suspiria, The Ring, or The Stepfather. Now we know it's not Suspiria. I don't think it's The Ring. I think I'm going to have to go with Psycho on this one. And that was right. I am doing better in this one, I will say. Next is You Have Been Warned. If something frightening happens to you today, think about it. It may be ... It, Rosemary's Baby, The Babadook, The Omen. I don't think it's The Babadook. We know it's not Rosemary's Baby, so either It or The Omen. I think I'm gonna go with It on this one. Oh, I was wrong. It was The Omen. I really have no idea what its tagline is. Not a clue. Next is another one I happen to know right off the bat. Man is the warmest place to hide. Options are The Exorcist, The Thing, The Ring, Night of the Living Dead. And I know the answer is The Thing. And that's right. Next is asking for the tagline to Hellraiser. Options are Meat's Meat and Man's Gotta Eat. I Want to Play a Game. Demon to Some, Angel to Others. Or Don't Let It In. That first one, I don't know what that's for. Is that for like Motel Hell or something? That's so funny. I'm going with Demon to Some, Angel to Others. And that is correct. Next is Day 1, Exposure. Day 2, Infection. Day 8, Epidemic. Day 15, Evacuation. Day 20, Devastation. Options are Quarantine, Outbreak, Donnie Darko, or 28 Days Later. Not Donnie Darko. I know that for sure. So it's counting down the days, so it makes me want to say 28 Days Later. But Quarantine and Outbreak are also kind of viral horror movies. But I'm gonna go with 28 Days Later. That was right. The obvious choice was right. Next is Before You Die, You See ... The Ring, It, Rosemary's Baby, or Annabelle. I'm gonna go with The Ring on this one. And that is right. There are quite a few on this quiz that were on the previous one, so I'm just skipping those. Okay, so this is a different one for Friday the 13th. And the options are The Legend is True, A Nice Place for a Summer Vacation, A Perfect Place to Die, You'll Wish It Was Only a Nightmare, or Carrie Meets Jack the Ripper. Now we know the first one's not right, and I don't think it's the You'll Wish It Was Only a Nightmare one, so since Friday the 13th is set during the summer, I'm gonna go with A Nice Place for a Summer Vacation, A Perfect Place to Die. Oh, and that was wrong. I was completely off base. I guess it was You'll Wish It Was Only a Nightmare, so okay. Next is They Got Up on the Wrong Side of the Grave. Dawn of the Dead, The Evil Dead, Dead Alive, or The Unborn. I don't think it's The Unborn, and I don't think it's Dawn of the Dead, because it's kind of got like a little cheekiness to it. So either The Evil Dead or Dead Alive. I'm gonna go with Dead Alive. And I was wrong. It was The Evil Dead. I like that one too. I think that fits that movie pretty well. Next is, something beyond comprehension is happening to a girl on this street, in this house. A man has been sent for as a last resort. This man is ... This is another one that I think seems pretty obvious, but the options are The Prowler, The Wicker Man, The Exorcist, or The Hitcher. And I'm going with The Exorcist. And that is right. This is another pretty obvious one because it just describes the plot basically, kind of like The Exorcist one did. But this one is, in October of 1994, 3 student filmmakers disappeared in the woods near Burkittsville, Maryland, while shooting a documentary, ... A year later, footage was found. The Blair Witch Project, Paranormal Activity, Cloverfield, or Quarantine, and that describes the plot of The Blair Witch Project perfectly. And that's right. Next is, what is the tagline for the movie The Hitcher? Never pick up a stranger. Some of these are so obviously for other movies. If it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of ... You haven't seen True Evil, or once you see him, nothing can save you. I guess I'm gonna go with Never Pick Up a Stranger. It seems like the most obvious one, and it is right. Next is, Some Sacrifices Must Be Made. The Boogeyman, The Wicker Man, The Innocents, or Bram Stoker's Dracula. Is it Bram or Brom? It's probably Brom, but I always say Bram, so I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but it's talking about sacrifices, and I know The Wicker Man is all about sacrificing people in a giant wicker man, so I'm gonna go with The Wicker Man, and it's right. Ooh, this next one is just Pray for ... The Bad Seed, Frankenstein's Bride. Is that a real title? Is there just Frankenstein's Bride, not Bride of Frankenstein, or is that just a typo? Rosemary's Baby or The Orphanage? I'm kind of between The Bad Seed and The Orphanage. I'm gonna go with The Orphanage. Oh, it is actually Rosemary's Baby. See, these movies that have multiple taglines, it's confusing for me. That's gonna be my excuse for getting these wrong. But next is one that was in one of the options before, and that is, if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of ... The Curse, The Boogeyman, The Blob, The Babadook. And I know the answer is The Babadook, and that's correct. Next is, from the bestseller that made millions, Believe in the Unbelievable. The Amityville Horror, The Boogeyman, The Fog, The Conjuring. Now, I actually read the Amityville Horror as a kid, so I'm going with Amityville Horror, and that's right. Next is, what is the tagline for the movie The Shining? Evil will do anything to live. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Lies, betrayal, sacrifice, how far will you take it? Scream your last breath. I don't know if this is a trick question, but I'm going with all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. And that one's right. Seems like on this list, pretty much the obvious answer is the right one. Okay, next is, to enter the mind of a killer, she must challenge the mind of a madman. This is another one that I feel like kind of just describes the plot, but options are Cape Fear, The Silence of the Lambs, Fargo, or Seven. And I'm going with Silence of the Lambs, and that is right. Next is another pretty obvious one. I don't even know if I should keep going with this quiz, but 1, sight, 2, sound, 3, smell, 4, taste, 5, touch, 6, ... The Unseen, 7 Days, 7, or The Sixth Sense. I'm going with The Sixth Sense. And that was right. Next is, sooner or later, they will find you. The Others, Cat People, Gothic, or 13 Ghosts. I don't really know what this one is. I think I'm going to go with Cat People, just out on a limb, and I was wrong. It's The Others. That is one I have not seen. Next is, what's the tagline for The Purge? Cops are criminals. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference? Survivor rule number 4, don't be a hero. One night a year, all crime is legal. Or afraid of the dark, you will be. Again, this is another one that just describes the plot. I'm going with One Night a Year, all crime is legal. And that's right. Okay, so for this one, now the tally did include the ones that I skipped that were from the previous quizzes, but I don't feel like going through and taking those out. So I'm just going to say the total including those. So I got 28 out of 35 right, which again, this one, a lot of them seemed pretty obvious to me. So I don't know if I should necessarily say that redeems me, but I will definitely take it as a victory. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add up all the questions and see what my grand total is. So 35 plus 19 is 54, and 28 plus 13 is 41. So I got 41 out of 54 right. So that is a 76%, which isn't great. But like I said, I don't know taglines that well, but I just think it's interesting reading through and seeing what the marketing teams decided to put as taglines, like what they thought would be a good hook for people to draw them in and make them want to see the movie. and how to kind of summarize the tone and the feel of the movie to give people a real sense of what the movie's about. So I just think that's super interesting. But if you followed along with me and you were answering them as I was going, please comment below and let me know what you got. I'd love to hear everybody's scores. And again, those quizzes will be linked in the description of this video so you can find them for yourselves online. And all of my social media is linked in the description as well. So if you want to follow me on like Letterboxd or Instagram, that's all linked below. And that is going to do it for today, y'all. Another kind of interactive video. I just want to do something that you guys could kind of participate in or just have fun watching me kind of fail at it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate every person who watches my videos. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching, and we'll talk horror next time.